So it finally happened to me. I got YouPuddinged and on Arabia. So we all know the map. I'm sure all of you know the strategy. The Sicilian strategy of just going all in Castle Age. But this is a slightly different version of the build that's not as effective. And I'm not quite sure why my opponent went this way. So I'm playing against the Ripper in the blue. He is Sicilians. You can see his elo up here at the game time was 1626, a little bit higher than myself. I looked at his history. He's a Chilean player, assuming, I'm just going to say he, assuming. He's a Chilean player who's climbed up from 1450 to about 2 weeks ago. I think he's been to 1600 before, but not super recently. And the pathing was just, I'm just going to say it now, atrocious this game. Units were just going every which direction, and in a very chaotic game, which I think you can expect with a YouPudding strategy, it can be very difficult. Okay, we're ringing the town bell. Already, I think Blue is like had a long day at work. He was going for like a different strat. Okay, now he realizes he wants a lumber camp. He's decided that maybe it's because he saw my Civ was Incas. I mean, I wasn't expecting Civ picking. So I was just like last minute, I was like, yeah, I guess YouPudding could be a thing. Incas. And it was already kind of in my mind process that maybe, you know, if we did come across a YouPudding type situation, Incas could be helpful. So only 2 on wood, which kind of looks like trying to go for a fast uptime here. Meanwhile, I have 2 on wood as well. So trying to make sure we can get fast uptimes, not too focused on what buildings we can produce. Pushing deer. Let's look at scouting. My scouting's very good. I'm seeing like what, maybe a fifth of the map already. And Blue is out scouting for me. Okay. But he's gotten all of his sheep. He's pushed 1 deer. These villager pathing. Oh my gosh. I get what he was saying earlier. Was this just a shift queue issue? Like what was that? Come on, DE. And maybe this was just an adjusted build from him. But you have to realize, with YouPudding, you're expecting Serjeants and Castle Age to devour everything. But Incas have an anti-infantry unit from the Castle Age. They have the Slinger. So this is very much a sloppy build from Blue, but very much an unpracticed build from me. I have never tried to go FC on Arabia with Incas. And here Blue is coming forward, and he's going to tower my wood line. And I see that. So I'm thinking, oh, I try to rush. I shift to try to rush this down. The villagers just stopped. Another sign that pathing was just not there this game. This villager going outside to finish the palisades. Real nice. And so market. Don't quite have the wood to drop a second building. Meanwhile, Blue at home. He's got 4 on wood now. 3 on gold. Long distancing. Eco's very, very tight for him. And the interesting thing is this is not an FC. These Sergeants are just coming out now. Didn't get the quick wall in time on my gold. Very sloppy there. So I am pushed off gold. Luckily, I have just enough. I have 201 gold. Very lucky. And the idea is I want to get down the range. So we're just idling eco. To be fair, Blue is also idling their eco. They're trying to play feudal Sergeants. And they're going for whatever resource, but they've left the gold. So, boop, villagers are back. Oh, bumping into each other. Can't seem to wall itself out. There we go. So we're back on the gold. Very happy that happened. We have the barracks ahead of the range. Just need the wood for the range. And bop, there it goes. Villagers are trying to path back to this wood line, but it's not safe. So, what's the plan? We just send it back. And since these Sergeants are still in feudal age, they only have 5 attack. And it's not too difficult to protect against them. So we're just missing 7 food. Just 7 food left to jump up to the Castle Age. And bop. There we go. We're on the way. Meanwhile, Blue at home. Not quite housed. Got that just in time. And just sitting on the gold. Leaving a few on wood. And now we're going market. So maybe he's thinking, we'll just stay on gold, produce Sergeants, do as much damage as we can. And it looks like he has enough stone to make another donjon? I can't remember how much these cost. No, these cost 200, don't they? And he's going to try to batter it down with villagers as well. I don't know. I guess these sergeants are going to push these villagers off gold. But that's not too difficult to pay attention to. Sergeants will path back around the gold mine. So it seems like I'm in a pretty decent position here, right? I'm going to have enough food and gold to make slingers when I get out. And unless we have more donjons going around, because I really don't have a way of taking out the donjon right now, I should be in an okay position. Villagers just kind of waiting here, waiting for wood to be available to drop some more farms. And Blue is just... Is he making villagers again? Yeah, he was at 18 vills, so he actually has the vill high right now of 24. And villagers are just hanging out on the wood camp up here. So he's like, okay, we've gotten some soft pressure in. Let's go for a little bit of eco. Let's continue the vill production. 5 on food at home. That's just a few farms and a few on berries. And build another donjon on this gold. Really make sure this guy can't get gold. Lucky for me that this wood line was big enough. And so this donjon wasn't just a tile or two shorter. Eagle's going forward now to see what's the follow-up. Maybe scout around the wood line, see where the next donjon is coming up. And Vill's taking over, because I guess Blue wants a little bit more scouting. See what resources are available. There's stone and there's gold here. Maybe he just wants to deny this extra gold. But there's the first slinger. 4 attack, but an extra 10 attack against infantry. Oh, Eagle's going to try to push in a deer. We'll see if I can pay enough attention to the deer here as these guys come over. And okay, donjon's up. I am pushed off this gold completely. But not really in danger of losing any villagers. Am behind 5 villagers, though. You never really know what the Sicilians are doing behind. It's somewhat of a mind game strategy. But at least the danger boys are going down. A lot of misses here. What? Oh, okay. We're going for the other one. I'm pretty sure I could just turn around and get him, but I don't want to take any additional damage than I need to. So the biggest mistake people make with the YouPudding strat is to try to stay and fight it in feudal age or apply early pressure. And I think in this game, it could have worked since he was so far from Castle Age. Mostly due to fault of the pathing, though. But the main defense is going up to Castle Age. If you have a great, like, unique unit, maybe like a conquistador from your castle or something like that, you could castle your gold, protect that, and make conquistadors to take out the sergeants. But I'll just make slingers. And add a monastery for some monks from healing. Converting a sergeant is very helpful. You can generally convert archers in feudal age. Fletching is in now. And we're going to do some pressure, counter pressure, because we're feeling pretty confident here. Just sit on the berries. Eagle's going to scout around, see where else we can do damage. And Blue's just going to mass up some archers to try to take a fight against the slingers. But I can also just build a town center and be completely safe from feudal army. If you've ever tried to push Cumans after they've gotten their second town center up and they have all of their resources well contained, it's pretty hard to do. I think I have horse collar. Yeah, horse collar coming in right before these farms. Very useful. So I'm not just... Because I do have a decent amount of wood here, but who knows when I get pushed off wood. This is my only lumber camp. Very singular source. And so Blue still does have the vill high. My food eco is stretched the limit, trying to make villagers and slingers. Idle TC time 4 minutes. This early in the game, not great. And don't quite have my units on stand ground. Luckily, I can keep these guys alive. And donjon range is just kind of nuts. Like the fact that I can't sit here. I guess slingers only have 5 range, so it'd be hard to outdo it. Matching these archers now that they have fletching. Oh, in second range. I don't think I can see that. No, can't see that second range. So we're thinking it's just a follow-up pressure while Blue still in feudal age, still not up in castle age. Eagles and slingers looping around, but these guys only have 4 attack. And villagers have pierce armor with Blue. Yeah, they have 2 pierce armor, so I'm only doing 2 damage to villagers. Look at that, it's tickling them. He could have just sat on the lumber camp, no problem. These guys looping around again. Luckily, I have pretty good vision since I have Town Watch. Town Watch is very important here to know where the shenanigans are going next. Where the chaotic behavior is going to rear its ugly head again. And so we're just going to sit on the lumber camp, and blue will send the lumberjacks all the way forward to this forward lumber camp. Does not, I guess he does have the economy to just make another lumber camp, but he knows nothing's safe at home. He's going for stragglers and farms around his TC. I guess the berries are safe again that I left. Monk, will he get the conversion? Oh, and he gets retasked in the wrong direction. Does not make it home. And a little bit of bad pathing here. And we don't have a blacksmith to make a siege workshop. A little bit of a misplay, but pretty comfortable here. Now matching vill count. If we look at resources, I guess I'll look at it right after this fight. A little bit of mismanagement. There we go. Resources collected. Pretty even still, considering the chaotic nature of this game so far. Though I'd say my resources are far more secure. This is the only kind of insecure area. Siege Workshop going up now. And unless the Serjeants really like tank all the fire from the TC, but they're still not Castle Age Sergeants. Unless they tank all that fire, they're not going to be doing too much. And this is also slightly in range of the TC. So this donjon is just going to go down instantly. And blue took him a while to figure that out. I don't know. I guess he's got housed. And so he's focusing on that. So he's just wasting all of this time building this donjon and having to delete it. Losing some stone in the process. And the archers go under the TC. So he's decided to move to a separate location. Does he see the Siege Workshop? He doesn't see the Siege Workshop, but he does see all of the Slingers just chilling. And now he sees the Siege Workshop. And boom, Mangonels comes out. And that's going to be a very difficult position to push. Slingers actually took out a lumber camp, believe it or not. And yeah, that donjon's being denied. So yeah, woodline still remains to be pretty much the only source that's a little bit in danger. This farm being in donjon range probably isn't the smartest thing, though. It's targeting the market instead until the villager wanders into its range, I think. Oh, nope, just gonna keep targeting the market because DE things. You just come in. What's the KD here? 9-2. Though Eco KD isn't in my favor. A little bit late to respond to this. Slingers taking the shots instead of the villagers. And just kind of hanging out by the archers. And we decide we need another TC. Collect some stone. 48 vills versus 45. Second TC finally paying off. And blue is on the way to the Castle Age. Hoping to even up the score. Though can he hold this position on his way up? With the Mangonels here. We're getting a little bit too close to the donjon, but taking out few archers in the process. Can we keep this Mangonel up? It looks like we can, though we're very short on wood at the moment. All of our villagers over here, waiting for that TC to go up. This is really when the map really gets chaotic. Slingers under the TC, just kind of lost track of where they wanted to be. Luckily the one's surviving. But Slinger numbers are down, and 15 archers. Most of them hanging out in the donjon. More being produced for blue. Where's Colin's attention? Let's play the Where's Colin's attention game. These guys are coming home. Okay, now we're repairing the Mangonel, and we're shooting the house, I think. Yeah, shooting the house instead of the donjon. This is what confused me. I was like, okay, cool, I can outrange it with the Mangonel. Not realizing I wasn't actually shooting it. A little confusing. So blue's up, and he's going for Bodkin. Eco's a little bit limited still. He has 45 vills, but you know they're not the most efficient. They're mostly just bumping into each other on the gold. And then the wood chopper's over here, and Siege Workshop. And now we finally get that done. And trying to figure out this Mangonel micro. So confused. So confused. Housed. Did we lose a house? What happened? Oh, we're just trying to create way too many units. Some Slingers. Lose the Mangonel. Trying to get stone mining. Not really necessary, Colin. You're a little too addicted to your economy. 14 crossbowmen and a mangonel on the way. Coming through with a 14 Sicilian sergeants on the side. And here we have the castle. We see the sergeants are out of position. We have the scorpion to defend. And we send the villagers real quick to repair the scorpion. And they can just barely outdo the damage that the crossbowmen are able to do. And we get the castle up. Very clutch. Very close situation there. And the sergeants were like, okay, they're gonna dive under the TC? Sure, I'll just run the vills. I have more TCs. And so he just follows. And we're like, okay, send the slingers after the sergeants. Send the mangonel after the sergeants. We send the villagers to the next TC. Slingers are there. Leave the TC, jump back into the TC. Archers are gonna be looping around. They're like, okay, new target acquired. Second TC on the stone. Make sure he can't get another castle up. Close to a castle. I don't remember what the Inca castle cost. These guys just stop. I don't quite understand this. Why they wanted to stop in that situation. Blue villager walking across the map. Mangonel following. And here the archers have found a new target. 68 versus 45 though, so a good villager lead now that we're on 3 TC. Blue still at 1 TC at home. His economy at home does not look like it has changed whatsoever. Villagers are now being pushed back to this lumber camp because of the castle. Completely unintentional, but a nice little bonus here. And Eco KD is not actually that bad for me. 4-3. All this pressure, and I haven't lost nearly as many as I thought I did in game. Though this hill is very unfortunate on top of this TC. I have the stone now to build a castle, but building a castle here, very difficult with the military presence that blue has. Finally going to get these donjons down, and so we can resend a lot of the units over here. Nope. Colin's going for guard tower instead. He's thinking full defense mode. Second barracks, maybe thinking eagles? 0 on gold? Wow. This is a messy game. This is indeed a messy game. Running out of gold here. Farms are expiring. Colin cannot handle the pressure. Vill's just getting stuck here as they try to build a castle. Vill's repairing. Still idle. We have 30 idols, so our effective Vill count is the same. Have been able to kill some units as they've wandered into the path of the town center. We're going to repair the town center. Lucky man with the pathing, he says. Indeed, the pathing this game has been... I don't know. I don't even think there was an update, so I really don't know why. And then I respond, pathing is terrible. It actually took me that long to respond because I was just so shooken. I was so shooked by this game. Mangonel micro. Mangonel goes into the TC fire. We do have Bodkin now. Ooh, don't quite read it correctly. And we're like, okay, how do we do this? Crossbows seem to have lost interest in defending the Mangonel. Lost interest? We're just watching? Okay. If we're just gonna watch, that's fine. And villagers are just gonna hang out here. Some regrouping logic. Love to see it. And how did we only lose 1 villager here? This is ridiculous. And now we have Bodkin coming in from the TC. And another Mangonel. So we're going to have to redo all of this from scratch. Imperial Age on the way for blue. What is this game? Going to the new gold mine. Making farms next to a town center that's being actively attacked by a Mangonel. 2 Mangonels grouped together very closely. Easily killed by a single Mangonel coming out of Blue's Siege Workshop. A monk patiently healing. An archer, a slinger, and an eagle. Oh, you don't even need the Mangonel. Just bring these guys in. Oh, he is actually losing a few sergeants to take out those Mangonels, but obviously he's going to have another Mangonel to try to repush the town center. Another mangonel here. It is, I think, advantage to the defender when you have a mangonel fight like this. And now we're seeing the guard towers come into effect. Some outposts in the front to see what blue's going to be sending next. And the score is looking pretty healthy for Colin here. A little bit of more mangonel micro. Slingers come to, once again, push back the sergeants. Guard tower. And blue is hitting imp. So what is he going to do with his imp? He doesn't have a castle. He doesn't have trebs. He has a mangonel. He's going for bracer. Okay. So he's thinking maybe if I can just have enough units. Look at this big blue blob on the minimap. He's thinking if I have enough archers with bracer, I can outrange your mangonels. I can win the mangonel war. And he's going for a second archery range. Probably thinking either chemistry. No, he doesn't have a university, so probably thinking art. Okay, we're getting art. Finally getting padded archer armor. We've had archers since feudal age, getting that armor now. And Colin at 93 vills. Getting close to doubling the vill count. Tower on the stone. Forward stone, just for good measure. 3 TCs. And producing eagles. Out of... how many barracks? 4 barracks. And where the arb's gonna go. And that's game. First time getting YouPudding. Very proud of myself for defending a weird YouPudding. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you in the comments.